Hi everyone and welcome. So today I'm going to share and discuss with you my phonics curriculum that I currently use in my first grade classroom. The phonics curriculum that we use in my school is called the Reading Horizons curriculum, and this curriculum is science of reading based. It's a current trend in education, and so this is what we use in my school to teach. And with it being the science of reading based curriculum, it lends itself to a systematic curriculum in a sense of the teacher is very much in control of what the student is learning, and there are goals that go along with the learning. And I kind of just gathered those thoughts from my readings in chapter 3 on the systematic curriculum in the McNeil text. So, like I said, this is science of reading based, and so the teacher is very much involved in the student learning, and it is standards based as well, so we are teaching to the standards. This particular lesson that I am showing you is a lesson that I did this week on vowel teams, or sometimes called adjacent vowels, and so that was the goal of this week's lesson in Reading Horizons. So this next picture is showing a student who is reading what's called a transfer card. Right after whole group lesson, we go to small group, and they start off by reading a transfer card that has words in isolation with the phonics skill I have taught for the day, and also sentences with those words as well. So during this time, I'm able to really do a formative assessment on which students really got it during whole group, which students didn't, and I'm able to group students based off of that for the next day, because I will use that Reading Horizons lessons for a full week to be sure that all students have mastered the skill, because that is state standard based learning. But I kind of I was talking about, I am formatively assessing them, and so I'm really using data to drive my decisions in my teaching, which goes along very well with the readings about standards based curriculum in the McNeil text. Like stated on page 48, it was talking about data driven decisions, and it says collecting evidence of what works occurs at many levels. And so this is one of the levels at which I am getting data very quickly to see which students get it, which students don't, and then I am from there creating interventions for those students. And sometimes I'm having to supplement materials for interventions, and so that's kind of a flaw, I guess, of this curriculum, as it is very tier 1 based, and that's not the reality that we often live in education. There are students who are tier 2, tier 3 students who need more resources, and so while this curriculum has great resources for tier 1, I will say that there's a flaw in the sense of it doesn't provide that it doesn't provide things very well for the tier 2 and tier 3 students that really need those supports as well. So yeah, this is the transfer card. This is the first thing they'll do after they have received teacher instruction, and they will then transfer it to practice. So continuing to follow through with the Reading Horizons curriculum progression, your first thing is teacher instruction. You move to small groups, you do a transfer to practice, and then you're continuing to transfer to practice through a decodable text. And each skill that is taught in the Horizons curriculum has a decodable text that is attached to it. And so this is showing you another formative way. The student might have been able to read the skill in isolation, but now can they apply it in context? Once again, this is a great tool for my tier 1 students. Oftentimes I see struggle with the transfer to practice and these decodables with my tier 2, tier 3 students, because these are very difficult level texts, and these texts are very centered, like I said, to tier 1 instruction. And so a lot of times I'm having to use outside resources to supplement in other materials for those students. Some of our we have a tier 2 program that is called Phonics First. I use that a lot of times in my tier 2 instruction, but I feel like it would be so much more helpful if we could definitely use that as well in when we're teaching a new skill to students who need that tier 2 support. So but right now my school is very much pushing that we're using the tier 1 for every single student, which I get. All students need to receive tier 1, but a lot of times it can become extremely difficult for my students who just need easier text or extra support. So yeah, this is my phonics curriculum that I use in my first grade classroom. It is standards based, it is systematic, and it very well meets all of the state standards that I am required to teach in the state of Alabama to first grade students. Students are encoding, decoding, all of the things. And that was one thing I forgot to mention that I'll mention here at the end of this video. So during teacher instruction, it kind of goes teacher instruction, we decode words together, and then they encode. And when they encode on their boards, and that's able to show me, are they able to apply that skill in their writing as well. So yeah, that's my phonics curriculum. It is systematic curriculum. It is standards based, and I look forward to hopefully sharing some more curriculum with you that I use in my classroom currently. So thanks.